beautiful souls. Welcome to the SoulTopia show with Michelle Welch. Today I will be talking with Arthur Gray from the Green Man Studios. Let's get started. Hi Arthur, welcome to the SoulTopia show. Thanks for joining me.
Thanks for having me.
So I wanted to have you on I really want to have you on for a lot of shows, to be honest, because you are so fascinating with all the different things you have knowledge about. But one of the things that I admire most about you is your ability, your unabashed ability to stand up for what you believe. And I've learned a lot from you regarding that, even though I'm probably twice your age, right? So, not really, but
not really.
No, because he's really old and I'm really young. So, I today really wanted to do a little fun exercise, kind of start out serious, and then we'll get a little more fun as we go into it. Hopefully the whole thing will be fun,
Yep.
But Arthur's always interesting. But I really want to talk about what we believe in and our belief system. And so I wanted to start with that question to you. Just kind of tell us a little bit briefly, just what do you stand for? What do you believe?
Stand for a lot of things. I was raised very, very Christian, and growing up, that was very, very strict in my upbringing, and I got rid of that as fast as I could. So then I just started studying different religions and different field philosophies, and I came to the conclusion that no one philosophy is going to fit everything that I need. So I actually call myself a non-denominational pagan practitioner.
Okay.
I pull from Buddhism, I pull from paganism, even from Wicca, even from Christianity, just a little bit of everything. So it's whatever, it's kind of like a build your own.
Okay.
So that's what I do, and that's what I encourage other people to do. I feel like belief system is a really strict set of things to confine yourself to. So I feel like people need to get out there and explore. So.
And I think that's one of the things that's drawn us together, besides some past lives, I'm sure, but is that we come from a similar background in that regard. And I think it took me a little bit longer to face some of those things that I could actually break out of those belief systems.
Absolutely.
What are some non-negotiables for you in life?
Equality.
Okay.
First off, gay, straight, male, female, I don't care. Rich, poor, everyone should have the same civil rights and everyone should be treated as equals.
Right. So what does that look like for you in a daily life if somebody doesn't agree with you regarding that? I know that's something we've talked about, and I didn't mean to put you on the spot.
No, I don't really debate. I debate much better in writing than I do speaking.
Well, he's a great writer, so that's...
I tend to speak my mind, and if they don't like it, then
right.
Too bad.
Right. So again, you say what you believe.
I say what I mean, and I mean what I say.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to play a little game with you today. It's one of those games where I throw a word at you and you tell me what you think, but we're going to take it a little bit beyond that.
Okay.
So it might be a phrase, it might be a word, and I not only want you to tell me the first thing that comes to your mind, but tell me you could tell me the first thing that comes to your mind, maybe what some people think, but not so much a definition, but kind of what you believe about that. Not a belief system, so to speak, but what kind of your guttural response to it. Okay, so here we go. You ready?
Ready.
All right. So the first word is, or phrase is, belief system.
Belief system. Limits. That's what I think of. I think of, like I said before, like a box that you're putting yourself in. Open that box up. Have some fun.
Try different things.
Try different things.
Try them on for size. They may work.
They may work. They may not.
Right.
If you feel it here, then go with it. If you don't, let it go. And also, the best thing that I can say in this arena is to be a filter and not a sponge. Be a filter. Filter things through. The things that stick with you, keep a hold of them. The things that don't, let them go. I know so many people who try to comprehend and hold on to all of these things from many different belief systems.
Right.
They're like, well, this says this is right, and this says this is right, and this says this is right, and they get really frustrated and really clogged.
Very confused.
Yes, very confused on what it is they should be doing. So I always encourage people to be a filter and not a sponge.
I think that makes one of the best teachers, and also for spirit guides. I think it's true too, because if somebody's saying, only listen to me, this is the only belief system, this is the only way.
Turn around and walk away.
Yes. Yeah. So I think you saying that just goes to your credibility as a teacher also.
I tell people all the time, if I'm saying something that doesn't make sense to them, disregard it. It's fine. It's not for them. It's for someone else.
Totally agree. All right. Conditioned beliefs.
My childhood. No, the Christianity thing. Just organized religion in general. Conditioned beliefs. It's to me, conditioned beliefs are a set of controls for a larger organization or group of people to control a smaller organization or group of people.
Why do you think those controls are put in place?
Because at some point in society we needed them. Nowadays we don't really need them.
So they did serve a purpose.
At some point.
Okay. All right.
That's my belief.
All of these are our beliefs, so you can
take
be
it or
a
leave
filter,
it.
not a sponge, right?
Right.
All right. Live and let live.
Live and let live. Peace. Meditation. That's what I feel. I feel like the more we get in touch with ourselves, the more we'll be able to let other people be in touch with themselves and do what they need to do.
What about someone who is living and let living outside of your non-negotiables?
Outside of my non-negotiables. That's a tough one.
It is tough, right?
It is a tough one, and it
Something
causes a
you
lot of
struggle with.
conflict. Unfortunately, like I said before, I'm a fighter, but I'm not really a debater. I know that sounds kind of like it's a contradictory, but
It's not.
it works for me.
I will say this. I know of the fact that in your past with Eloy, you guys did affect a lot of change. And you were very involved in bringing about change, actually through the political system.
Yes.
So you actually have taken action with many of your belief systems.
Oh, yes.
And I use the word belief systems because it gets us there. It's a
Right.
quick way to get us there.
Yeah, we've protested, we've marched on Washington, we've done a ton of different things. Eloy was the president of the Stonewall Democrats of Denton County for, I think, 2 or 3 years, and we did what we needed to do. We pushed the anti-bullying bill through here in Texas, and then we just kind of stepped back from it to
How is that
pursue
bill-
the more spiritual things.
I agree.
Yeah.
How is that bill coming along in Texas? Do you know now?
Oh, it passed.
It passed, but
Yeah, I mean,
is it enforced? Do you know?
I don't.
Yeah, I'm curious about
I
that.
did have some, one of my employees at a former job, he had some problems, so I pulled up the bill and I gave it to him, and he took it up to the school, and that fixed it.
That's
So,
amazing. Well,
yeah.
and that's enforcement.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I don't know how
How
it's doing everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, I know there's been a lot of progress made in that
Yes.
because of that bill.
Yes.
All right. So there are no truths. I think you've already answered this one, but there are no truths but your own.
Be a filter, not a sponge. I do feel like there are universal truths that we can all agree with. Like for some reason, I'm thinking of food, shelter, clothing. You know, those are universal truths. Those are things that we all need. Food, water, you know, things like that. Beyond that, everything's pretty much up for grabs. Anything on the spiritual realm, I mean, I could worship a blue-skinned Indian god, and the Native Americans can worship Buffalo Mother, you know, and it's all the same to me.
Okay.
So.
Well, so today's Martin Luther King Jr. Day, and so I thought I would give you a quote, and I'm pretty sure, knowing you very well, how you will respond to this quote, but I thought we would throw it in to see how you respond to it. And of course, there's so many great quotes, but this is the one I chose for you today. It is not possible to be in favor of justice for some people and not in favor of justice for all. I think you kind of summarized that when you said what you stood for in your non-negotiables, but you would say you agree with that, right?
I agree with that completely.
Okay.
Yes.
And you know, another one. This
Even
is just.
the people who don't agree with my non-negotiables deserve to have peace.
I'm glad you said that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's you have to get to a point where you reach equilibrium, and sometimes that's an issue.
I agree.
So.
If we don't believe in freedom of expression for people we despise, we don't believe in it at all. This was Noam Chomsky. I don't know who that is. Maybe I should, but I liked that quote. What do you think about it? Want me to read it again?
Yeah.
If we don't believe in freedom of expression for people we despise, we don't believe in it at all. Now, the word despise, might change that a little bit to say in people we don't agree with.
Right.
What do you think about that?
I believe in freedom of speech. I think it's like I said, it's a rough territory. I do not believe in harming other people.
Right.
So if people are using their freedom of speech to harm other people, I think that's an issue.
And that's where the Martin Luther King Jr. quote comes up, and I don't want to misquote him, so I'm going to summarize it. But that's when he says that there are some laws or some things you have to go against when it is not something that is literally it's going against someone's civil rights.
Right.
Now, I wish I had that quote. I will put that as an addendum to this posting, okay, or to this show, because I don't want to misquote Martin Luther King Jr.
Right.
But he said something to that effect. I was reading it today, and I thought, I know what he means, because he was all about peace. He was all about doing everything in a peaceful manner, but yet he said when there are certain things you have to go against what the law says
Absolutely.
to affect change.
Well,
right?
laws change because of conflict. There are a lot of laws in place that aren't right. I mean, we saw that with the gay marriage. We fought for that, and we finally were able to get married.
That's
so
right.
conflict is what institutes change, and
That's
I think that's what he was going for.
All right, so we're gonna have a little fun. If you could get out your tarot cards, and why don't you tell us a little bit about, while you're getting those out, I will say Arthur teaches intuitive tarot, and he is a featured speaker and writer at many events. And this, what we mentioned before, the Northwest Tarot Symposium that is in March in Portland, is a huge honor to be involved in. And
exciting.
so we're going. Roger and I are going to, mainly our interest came because of Arthur's speech, but I'm sure we'll have fun with all the activities there.
It's a blast.
But which deck do you use?
I read with the Morgan Greer right now.
Okay.
So this is it's very 70s, very it reminds me of like 70s like wall posters. I like bright colors
them.
and the fact that they are multicultural people. Like they're all different colors of people in here. So
I noticed that a
fun.
lot
Yeah.
because I'll get decks and I'll be reading for someone. I'm like, if I was looking at this, this would not appeal to me at all if I was of a certain different, diverse culture.
Absolutely.
Right. All right. So I'm going to throw some of these words back at you.
Sure.
And I want you to tell us what card in the tarot deck you think would represent this idea. Okay, to you. I know that there are assigned definitions and meanings, but I want to know which one you think would go with this saying. Okay, so let's go first with conditioned beliefs.
The Devil card. The Devil card is what I would say. And I don't know if I can find it on time.
That's fine.
The Devil card is all about old things coming back from your past to devil you.
Doesn't it always seem like it's the last one?
Always. There it is.
There it is.
All right.
Okay.
So here is the Devil card.
Okay, show it. There you go.
Devil card. The Devil card is about old belief systems, old friendships, old relationships, old habits, old addictions, old negativity from your past coming back to visit you. And that's what I think of when I think of conditioned beliefs.
Okay. I like
those
that.
Nagging things that you haven't gotten closure on.
All right. So when that card comes up, that'd be a good indication that you need to deal with some of those, or perhaps deal with some of those issues.
Absolutely. It's about things that you haven't dealt with in the past, revisiting you in your present so that you can deal with it in the future.
Perfect. All right. What about live and let live?
Live and let live. I would say temperance.
Isn't that one of your favorite cards in the deck?
It is my absolute all-time favorite card of any deck, yes. Temperance is about what doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
Ah.
So.
Still magnolias.
Really? That's funny. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. And you see like the blacksmith in like movies, like pounding on that red hot iron to turn it into a sword, and then he takes that red hot iron and he puts it in the water, and the water tempers the metal to make it stronger. So those are the things that we're going through, and living and let living, like coming to the conclusion that that other person has just as much right to be here as you do. That's a big step. That is a big thing to where that's tempering you for life, basically.
Right. He's still looking. I said a lot of times it's towards the end of the deck. We'll see how much that happens today.
There she is.
There. And there she is, almost at the end of the deck.
So here is the temperance
card. Oh, that's a pretty card.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that one.
I like it.
Okay, so truth. Where we were talking about there are no truths but your own. You could do it as that if you want to, or just truth in general. Whichever way you want to go with that. whichever way you want to take that.
You know, I'm going to take it to justice.
Okay.
The justice card to me is truth. Justice is about the truth coming out. Okay? So the truth of the situation, the truth behind the scenes. Even if you think something is true, the justice card would be about the ultimate truth coming out, even to where you have to reassess your situation.
Right.
Okay? So there's the truth card, justice.
Okay. Now, what about justice for all, equality? Would you go there too, for equality?
You know, no, I think I'm going to do the star
Okay.
for justice for all and equality, because in the star card, she has 1 foot in water and 1 foot on land. So it's basically balancing our material goods, our material existence, our life here on Earth with our emotional existence, and
Right.
helping them to find that equilibrium that we were talking about earlier. And plus, since we're not quite there just yet with equality for all, I think the star card is fitting, because the star card is literally about not settling for what you have, but really striving for what you want.
I like that.
I should have just started at the bottom.
It'll go the other way if you do.
There she is.
There she is. Yeah, I like these cards.
So there's the star card. Very emotional card there.
Okay, so now I notice we have some reversed and some upright
I
here.
was just-
Okay,
Subconscious. I don't
yes. All right, so let's go with what card would be representative of, and I don't even want to say it, your belief system,
My belief system.
your lack of a belief system.
My lack of a belief system. Okay. All right. Let's see.
And do you think that changes?
Yes, I think it
Yeah,
changed.
I
Well,
do too.
okay. Chariot. It's the chariot. The chariot is about inevitably moving forward. Okay?
But we just
talked about how we need to move forward, and my belief system is always changing, and I know you, and you assimilate new information, and you move forward with
evolve.
that as well. Exactly. So this is about evolution. And so that's what I'm going to use for my personal belief system.
I love it. Okay, now I'm going to throw you for a little loop.
Okay?
I would like you to take those cards
Mhm.
and give us for a country right now.
As our country?
Our country, that being the United States of America,
Okay.
a little reading.
A little reading.
Mhm.
Okay. All right. So first of all, I think the situation that we're about to move into is representative of the Devil card, about old things from our past coming back to haunt us. Okay. I mean, we're dealing with racism and crazy things that everyone had kind of, well, let me rephrase that. Some people had thought it was gone. Okay. Other ones knew that it wasn't. We've always known it was an underlying problem, but now it's right back in our faces. And so that's definitely the Devil card, okay? So the next card is going to be the Temperance card, because like I said, the Temperance card is about whatever doesn't kill us will make us stronger. So as a country, I feel like us moving through the next 4 years will temper us and make us stronger. I feel like everything happens for a reason, and I know that sounds cliche, but cliches are cliches for a reason. I believe that, because it's true. Like, this will make us stronger when we come out the other end. It's going to be a big relief, and we're going to be really ready for something different, which tells me that the Star card would be the next card. The Star card, again, my call to action for this would be to not settle for the way things are, but to fight and to strive for the way that we want things to be. There will be justice in the end. It will all turn out the way that it is supposed to. The scales in this card will be balanced. The justice card, she's holding her sword, and that sword is to cut away the things that hide the truth. And I feel like these next 4 years are definitely going to be a series of untruths being uncovered.
The truth will be revealed.
That's right.
In time.
In time. And then we have the Chariot, which I'm going to put last, because the Chariot is about moving forward. And I feel like even though this feels like a huge setback for us, I feel like it's going to propel us into the future.
Well, that was great. Thank you. I know I threw you for a
Yeah.
bit of a curve
That's
there,
okay.
but
I'm
see,
used to
that is why he's so great at teaching intuitive tarot, because he just can. Well, you're an accomplished reader,
I
but
enjoy it very
that's what you
much.
teach, is to do just that, right?
Absolutely.
Not certain positions, or you want to explain just a brief bit about that, and then we'll wrap up.
Well, intuitive tarot, I just feel like these cards can tell you so much more than just the traditional meanings of that's like you can pick up a book and read about the cards, but you can't really feel them until you just sit there and you get to know them. Colors, pictures, symbols. It's like it's your own personal library of symbology that allows you to read intuitively. Some people can do it, some people can't. Most people can. They just have to get into that spot where they
Get past
can
the
do it.
conditioned beliefs that they can't.
Exactly,
Right?
exactly. I always tell people in my classes, I see them like sneaking the book out, and I'm like, put it up.
Yeah.
You know, no books in my class, because it's all about what you see in these cards.
Right.
So, and the thing with intuitive reading is that if you learn to read intuitively, then you can pick up any deck of cards. Oracle, tarot, you can read from greeting cards. It doesn't matter. We actually have an exercise in my class where we do
I love that. Yeah.
And you can do readings from any artwork, really.
Yeah.
But if you learn just by the book, then you're pretty much stuck with whatever deck you learned.
You can go to the museum and read.
You can.
Right.
Absolutely.
That'd be fun.
If someone's really drawn to something, you can look at that painting and be like, I know why you're drawn to this, because blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
I feel like a lot of this seemingly natural talent for myself comes from me having a history in art history. And my art degree really helps me to be able to really get into the artwork.
Right. I see that. So tell our listeners how they can find you.
www.thegreenmanstudios.com.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for
All right.
having me.
Before we go, I want to invite you to check out SoulTopia.guru for our calendar of events. Until next week, when we have Alice Gilbert from Electric Moon Healing, Crystal cheers.